Howdy folks, welcome to the kitchen and the newest episode of Brew Food. And today I am making up my own batch of this stuff, Mullos relish. This is world famous within the beer monsters. Mullos is one of the patrons, Jason James. Thumbs up to all the patrons. How's everybody going? Mullo's been supplying me with his relish for a couple of years now, and it's bloody fantastic. The beer monsters have discovered this reasonably recently, and they all rave about it. It's a very well. This is his basic tomato relish. He does a chili version as well, which I've currently got in the fridge. I've been tucking into that. He bought this jar and a bigger jar of the chili over for Beer Monsters Australia Day, and I've been enjoying that. So I'm holding on to the tomato until the chili's gone, which is not far off. But this is a little sweeter than a lot of relishes. It's not quite as it's a bit more sweet than tomatoey. Let's put it that way, which I really like, and it goes really well on, as relish does. Goes really good on barbecue, on a cold meat sandwich, just with some dipping bread, or even some crackers on the side of a bloody cheese platter, charcuterie board. It's great stuff. So I've never made relish in all my years of cooking and all the rest of it. I've never made relish, and I thought I'm going to give this one a go. So I've got Mullo's recipe here. Now I think I asked Mullo's yonks ago whether he'd be alright if I did this on the channel, and I'm pretty sure he said that'd be okay. So I've got the recipe there. I will stick the recipe down in the comments, in the description, because I'm not following it directly, simply because I don't have as much of the ingredients that's in the recipe. I'm only doing a small batch, maybe first crack at it. I don't have a lot of jars and things here, so I want to make sure I've got enough to get it all done. So I'll just want to have a crack today and see how she goes. But given, I've tried this on several occasions. I know the recipe works. I'm going to follow the recipe. Just the quantities are going to be a little bit less, and I've got to substitute one ingredient a little bit down the track, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. So right now, for now, first thing I need to do is I need to chop up, just into some chunks, some tomatoes and some onions, and we're going to get that into the pot here, and that needs to sit for 4 hours. Now, because what that is going to do is going to let the juice come out of the tomatoes, and then we keep some of that juice to make the sauce down the track, which is a process I've not seen on any other relish. So it's a little bit unique to this relish, but as I said, this always comes out really nice. So I'm not going to go against that. I'm going to do it as it stands. So, like I said, I'm going to chop some tomatoes. So I said, just chunky, because this is going to get cooked down. So you don't want them too small, because they'll just turn to nothingness when they cook. But you don't want them massive but either, I'd imagine. So get me onion if I can get the bloody skin off the bloody thing, just to give you an idea of how I'm chunking them up. And just sort of a bit of a half. So half into 6 sections is, for me, that seems like plenty good enough. That'll cook down. Still leave little bits of, enough to leave some little bits of onion. Some of the smaller bits will disintegrate within the actual sauce, which is all good. So I'm going to get these chopped up, let this sit for 4 hours. I'll see you then. Righto folks, we're just coming up on on the 4 hours. So our next step is to drain the liquid off here. Now, I've not got anywhere near as much as the recipe is suggesting, and that would be because these tomatoes aren't particularly, they're not overripe anyway. Normally you use quite fairly ripe tomatoes. These are just ones I bought yesterday at Woolies off the shelf, so they're ready to eat. They're not overly juicy, so I haven't got anywhere near that. That's okay, that's not a problem. Rub that down the track. This is a little unusual from this point of view, because normally most relatives, you just cook, you just get your tomatoes, your onions, and you put your liquids in and you just cook them. So this is a little bit different the way that Mullos does go about this recipe. So I think we're going to work out alright. We'll just have to play just a little bit different at the other end. That's alright. Now he wants malt vinegar. Now again, I'm not giving you my dimensions because I'm not actually, I said, not using the full amount as per the recipe you're going to get. So I have made adjustments to my amounts as a result. We've got some malt vinegar, we have white sugar, probably close enough. Then we want some salt. Now I'm using cooking salt. So you could just use normal table salt if you haven't got cooking salt. Could have even gone with bloody rock salt, I suppose. But anyway, that's in. So I'm now going to get this onto the stove and heating up. And I'm going to get this up to a simmer and then let it sit at a simmer for 2 hours with no lid on. So given that's not going to be particularly exciting to look at, let's come back when it's done. Okay, we're just coming up on 2 hours. So this is how we're looking. Now, it's cooked down a fair bit. It's gotten a fair bit thicker. There's still a little bit of juice there. That's nice. It's good, nice and chunky. This pot's just got some jars boiling up, so they're sterilised. Okay. Apologise for the bubble. The boil going on there. Anyway, so just quickly the next stage. This is just very quick. This is just getting ready to finish this off. I'm going to thicken this up and put some bit more seasoning in. It's tasting really good as it is, but anyway, I've added a little bit of tomato juice to the liquid I got off earlier because there wasn't as much there as to go as per the recipe. So I've done that. Now we're adding to that some mustard seed. Well, actually the recipe says mustard powder. I couldn't get any mustard powder I went down to Mullos this morning. I don't actually have mustard powder in the house. Got plenty of mustard. Varying kinds of mustard, but no mustard powder. So I just grabbed some mustard seed and I'll ground them up in the old mortar and pestle. Yeah, took like 30 seconds. Nice and easy. We want some curry powder. Yeah, you can play around with these sort of additions on your own to get, you know, your own sort of preference. We've got a little bit of a pinch of cayenne pepper. That's the right one, cayenne pepper. And again, we don't want a lot. This is hot cayenne, so but this is just again just a little bit of extra, just to cut through the sweetness a little bit more than anything else, because it is very sweet at the moment. And we just want a little bit of flour, and this is going to be our thickening agent. We pop that in there. Now, I'm just using plain flour. Mullos hasn't actually stated exactly what he uses. You probably find that most people will use corn flour. Probably for two reasons really. Two, it adds less colour, it changes the colour less than normal flour would. And it won't thicken quite as much, so it can leave a little bit more thinness in your sauce. For this, I don't think it's going to really matter. Like I said, he didn't really tell me one way or not another. So we just mix that up. Just checking that's all I'm doing. Yep. We then add that into our relish. Mix that through, and we will now give this another 10 minutes, maybe even 15, just to let that cook through. And let that flour cook off and also let it thicken up. We'll start to thicken. A lot of the thickening will happen in the jars. But anyway, back shortly. Right, we finished there, got the heat turned off. Just getting my bottles out. So these have been boiling for about 20 minutes. Make sure they're well and truly sterilised. And the heat is going to help with making sure that this relish will survive on the shelf for an extended time if you need to. You can just jar this up. Mullos' instructions actually say just to let it cool and put it in jars. Now that's fine if you're planning on eating it quickly, but if you do want to keep it for any real length of time, yeah, like I say, you know, you've brewed a decent sized batch and you're not going to give it all out to family and friends, then you need to can it hot to keep any of the nasty bugs and things away. Safety first when it comes to food. Alright. Now I've got way more jars here than I need. I'm pretty confident I've got more jars than I need. There's not a real lot here. Like I said, this is a smaller amount. As such, I've guessworked a little bit on some of the numbers. So it does look a little bit darker than what Mullos does, but anyway. Speaking of Mullos, that's his ginger stout. An extract brew, which I'll be doing very soon for Extravaganza. So keep an eye out for that one. But anyway, so just for now, we're going to just put this in the jars, and you can get funnels, preserving funnels, to make this job easier. And I should have got one, but I didn't. So yeah, as I said, I'm only going to get maybe 3 jars out of this. So anyway, it's tasting pretty good. I'm just going to pull, I'll leave the small one. I'm going to pull 2 jars off because I'm going to add some chilli to the third one. And I said Mullos normally drops off his plain tomato and then some with chilli. And for me, the chilli always gets eaten first. So they're fine as they are. But basically, all he adds is just some chilli flakes. Again, this is about keeping it basic. Like this is a very easy recipe. I mean, relish in general is fairly easy. It doesn't need to be difficult. Now, ideally with that chilli, you could quite simply, like if you're doing a big batch and you've got enough left, which I think what Mullos does, he throws it in and then cooks it for a little bit longer. Now, I'm not going to fuck around with that. I'm just going to put that through. The little bit of heat that's in that is going to be enough to release the chilli. That's, you know, the chilli compounds that are in there. That will be fine. Now you don't need to have your jars completely full, especially doing hot, because once you seal them up, they create a vacuum as they cool. Like same as when we cold crash our beer. So it will pull the lid down, seal it up, and you got no dramas. So jar full there. Okay, so I've got 3 jars out of that. A little bit. Yeah, I've over allowed a little bit. Anyway, that won't hurt. That's not a problem. I'm going to do some mustard pickles in the next couple of days as well, so that'll another video that's coming not far off. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that for my first effort. So just clean the top of the jars off. Now because I've not done a relish before, wasn't really sure at what level I needed to cut down all the tomato and stuff. It turns out I probably could have gone down a little bit smaller on the dice, but I'm happy with that because I don't mind a bit of chunk in my relish. Like I said, I use it more as a sauce on top of steaks and stuff than I do like just a spread on sandwiches. So from that angle, the larger stuff works for me. So get the right bloody lids on here. Now I will leave these to sit and cool. Now apparently what they'll do is they cool, they should suck those lids in. So I'm not going to come back and look at it any further. that's good. I'm really happy with that. That's nice. Have a crack at it. But as they cool, those lids will pull in and get solid, like doing a secondary condition or a secondary ferment in a PET bottle. The bottle gets rock hard as it fills with gas. These will do the same thing. Those lids will get solid. So same when you're buying you buy a jar from the shop. It tells you to reject it if the top's popped. The same with this, but basically all that means is if the top doesn't pull down, then you just need to put it in the fridge and just use it reasonably quickly. This stuff will last a while. It's got a lot of vinegar and sugar, and I know I've Mullos and I have jars here for months at a time sometimes with no problem. So there's no issue with that. But it is just something to look at, especially if you are doing big batches and you do want to store it. But anyway, guys, folks, that's something different, and brew food. There's no actual beer involved in the making, which is unusual. But like I said, this stuff just accompanies everything. I did say earlier I've never done a relish before, which was a little bit of a lie, because I have done the onion relish and I've actually done it here on the channel. This is the first time I've done a tomato relish. So anyway, Patreons, cheers for your support. There's a link down the bottom if you're interested in having a look at Patreon. If you subscribe, thank you. If you're not, hit the subscribe button down there. Get subscribed, ring the bell, don't miss out on anything. And if you like what's going on, give me a thumbs up. But that's me for now. I'm done. Cheers all. So until I see you again. We're brewing beer, drinking beer, talking beer, or making things to have along the side of that. Good brewing.